Yeah, that's not right. It doesn't move freely. And it makes noises. Hey everybody, what's going on? Hope you guys are doing good. So today's project is swapping out the alternator in my 2020 Ford Escape SE 1.5 liter turbo engine. And it's not that big of a deal, although doing it yourself will save you a shitload of fucking money because dealers and shops claim they have to drop the motor in order to replace the belt on this car because this car has no tensioner. Now, you gotta love the people over at Napa Auto Parts. So I picked up the new belt at Napa Auto Parts, and I picked up the new alternator over at O'Reilly's. This is a 180 amp alternator. It says on this thing that it is at idle it is 167 amps, and then max is 219 amps. So they give it around about 180 amps. But anyways, so this is the original belt that I had to cut off the car because there's no idler arm on there. And this is the belt that they sold me over in Napa. Now, do they look anything alike? I hate that all of these places now have kids basically running the show at all these auto parts store, and they don't take the time to actually ask you questions and look, it comes up on the computers, oh, this is the one that's for you. And for my vehicle, there are different alternators as well. So yeah, I don't have a idler or tensioner on my car, so putting on the belt is going to be a little bit difficult. Now, you can save yourself a shitload of money by doing this yourself. You don't need very many tools whatsoever. Pair of vice grips, I'll show you why, or pliers will help. 5/16, 10 mil, 13 mil is all you need. Now, the 5/16 is for this screw right here, which is a ground strap that goes on the frame. You're going to have to remove that. The 10 mil is going to be for the lower bolt that holds the alternator to the block. And then you have your 13 mil, which is for the upper bolt. And also it's for the screw or nut that holds the power wire to your alternator. So yeah, this is kind of what I'm looking at right now. I'd rather be working on the guitar. As you can see, I got all the masking off, but this is kind of more important. So it is like, I don't even know what time it is. It's 11 o'clock at night right now, and I'm doing this because it was hotter than hell during the day, and tomorrow is supposed to be no better. But I was hoping to have this thing completed today and get the vehicle up and running, so tomorrow I didn't have to sit out here in the heat and possibly storms to get the belt on here, because that's a little bit of a problem as far as this goes, not having a idler or the tensioner as far as this vehicle and the configuration of the belt goes. But I have to return this to get the right size belt. So I'm going to go over by the car and I'll show you what's going on. And we'll take a look at that. This is fairly easy. And again, you know, save yourself some money and do it yourself if you're mechanically inclined. So here is the old alternator. You can see that I already have the mounts already removed, separated. All you gotta do is pull it out. So for the pliers, there's two hoses over here. These two that go to the reservoir for the antifreeze. They got a clamp on them, a clip on them, whatever you want to call it. So you're gonna pull those off and then slide them off. Now the tensioner would be mounted, if I can see if I can get it in there, right where that circle is. There's a hose going right through it, so it'd be right here, and there isn't one there. So now the fun part of this is putting the belt back on. So front tire has to come off. The shroud that is around the tire, or the cover that's on the bottom over there, has to come out, and then you have to put a pair of pliers or channel locks on the flywheel, on the crankshaft, and kind of, you know, turn the motor a little bit to get the belt on. So yeah, that's the fun part. The bad thing is that, well, I don't have the right belt, so I'm not going to be able to complete this right now. I'll have to wait till tomorrow. Beautiful night, still kind of warm outside, but not as bad, and it's not as buggy as I thought it would be. So this little motor over here is not bad as far as power goes and everything else. I was actually surprised that the 1.5 liter is actually pretty quick, and I guess the turbo helps out a lot with that. But I started noticing some noise and trying to figure out what the hell is coming from. So it could either be a couple things, either the power steering pump or the air conditioner. And since it's been so hot, I've been running the air conditioner. And I'm going to spin this thing and you can hear it. Yeah, when the car is running, that's even louder. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that out and put the new one in, bolt it up, and close everything up for the night. Alright, so there's the new alternator, all plugged in, ready to go. So I just have to get to the belt tomorrow and connect the battery over there. Make sure there's no tools or anything around. And I'm closing up the garage for tonight. This only took about maybe 20 minutes, half an hour to swap out. It's a little bit tight fitting up here at the top knuckle over here, and because it doesn't have a compression on this side here is pretty much molded. The bottom has a compression, which means there's a gap over here at the top, so it goes on loose, and then when you tighten it up, the compression fitting starts pulling down, if that's what it's called. But yeah, so it's a little tight getting it up on the top over here, but she's done, and just have to wait for tomorrow. So I'll probably be doing this in the storm, who knows.